As a bloke who spent a great many of his formative years growing up on the racetrack, mention the word emu to me, and I think of those fellas who go around picking up all the betting tickets after the last race. But would you believe in a racing story, our Johnny Tapp has come up with a fair dinkum emu, a bird by the name of Crumbles who's got a crush on a pacer called Cane Smoke. I think we'll just let this love affair unfold. From the north of Queensland, Johnny Tapp reports.
This scene is typical of the Mackay district on the central Queensland coast, home to about 60,000 people. The town of Mackay is almost 1,000 kilometres north of Brisbane and is famous for its sugarcane industry. In fact, it supplies about 1/3 of Australia's total harvest. It's also famous as the birthplace of people like George Moore, the Lagarde twins and Delvine Delaney. But I doubt if it's ever had a better ambassador than an 11-year-old gelding called Cane Smoke. He's a household word from Townsville to Rockhampton. Even horses have the right to choose their own friends. Cane Smoke's friend happens to be just a little different to the dogs, cats and goats you'd find in the average racing stable. Even the locals are curious about Mackay's odd couple. The old horse took a shine to Crumbles when the orphan emu arrived on the farm about a year ago and likes to have his feathered friend around him all the time. Well, most of the time. Cane Smoke's second best friend is his trainer, Brian Manzelman, whose life revolves around this remarkable horse.
Cane Smoke's the reason why you get out of bed of a morning, rain, cold and work. You like taking him away because it's something that you've got something when you've got Smokey with you. He's more than a horse, he's like a bit of furniture, like a family to us. All the kids here, they all think it's just it, you know. Yeah, we all like him in here.
Like most good horses, Cane Smoke knows he's special.
You can come here, if anybody's got a bit of grass or a bit of thistle or carrot, Smokey gets it first. You go to the trots, Marlene takes carrots to the trots, Smokey gets it first. When they're off the truck to be rolled and that, Smokey will go first. And, you know, it's just, he's just the first, and, you know.
And what would he do if you gave the carrot to another horse before Smokey?
He gets a bit excited, doesn't he? He sort of, you know, shakes his head and much as to say, I'm the king of this outfit, let me at it.
The background could be a movie set. A sea of waving cane and the smoke palls from the pre-harvest burn-off. The Cane Smoke, after which the old champ is named. Brian drives Smokey in all of his track work, but not in races.
I always reckon that I'm not as good a driver as my brother or Paul Zimley. They're the better drivers. I was never a real good driver, I don't think. I was a good trainer, but not a smarter driver as John or Paul Zimley or Henry.
What I like about him, you can make mistakes in running and he covers them up for you and he makes you look a real good driver.
Many of his 93 wins have been sensational, but none more than this one at Rockhampton. Leading driver Paul Zimmerly had him in third place on the inside when the trouble came.
Cane Smoke looking for a run. Oh, he's in the air. Cane Smoke nearly came down, and he's gone. Cane Smoke. He's dropped out of it. Forget him as up towards the top corner now.
It certainly looked like Cane Smoke had blown his chances, but champions can do the seemingly impossible. He recovered and produced one of the most amazing finishing bursts in Queensland harness racing history.
Winston is not far away. Into the straight now. 100 metres left to go. A wall of horses, hard to find a leader. And now Tidy Bid got the leader. And down the outside, Cane Smoke. Oh, what a run, Cane Smoke. Geez, a great horse. And the champ's home. Cane Smoke, what a runner. Cane Smoke has beaten Midnight Storm.
Well, he's a top horse. He can run both ends of the race. This is the beauty. I saw John in the Greens Cup heat and he drove him out real hard and the horse still had more to come home, so he goes both ends of the race. And as John said, he can make a driver.
He makes a name for the town.
Why do you like him?
I don't know.
But you must have a reason for liking him so much.
Dad drives him a lot.
How do you feel sitting in the stand when he wins?
Oh, you don't sit down, you stand and yell.
Yeah.
And it's good.
Marlene Manzelman understands Brian's rapport with Cane Smoke better than most.
although he's had good horses before, they have never ever stood up to the standard that Cane Smoke is. And I think he sort of made Brian as well as Brian's made him, you know.
You're going to miss him.
He sure will. It'll be a hard day.
Do you worry about that?
Sometimes because I don't know what they're going to do to take his place.
The whole Manselman family will feel sick the day he retires, I think. But we'll go on, I hope. We'll try and get another Smoky. But it'll be a long time before we will.
Johnny Tapp, what a great story. And what a great finish.
Yeah.
I mean, I would have to have seen that to believe it, that
Yeah.
night he got up at Rockhampton.
Yeah, that was. I mean, he didn't even have much, much left in the race to make up all that ground either. That
I
was
know
the
what
thing
it's
that-
like to back horses like that. You just tear up your ticket, you go up the bar, and you don't look again.
Yeah. What happens when you've torn up your ticket and then it wins? You go back searching for the pieces, do you?
Well, I might with Cane Smoke, but that was the quite extraordinary story by Johnny Tapp, and a beauty, a beauty.
It certainly was a lovely story. In a moment, we'll come back with another sports classic featuring Arthur Ashe.
Talk India.